They say in illusions, when you do see what you don't see, you don't see what you do see. When it's all over, you're not sure what you did see, but hopefully you were glad you got to see it. So take a look at these and decide what you see. Rings are black. 1, 2, 3 black rings. How many would say it's 3 black rings? Interesting, because actually it's only 2 black rings. One has all this coloring. So let's try it again. It's an illusion. You do see what you don't see. You don't see what you do see. How many black rings? No, actually we only have 1 black ring. It's 2 that have all the coloring. So we'll try it one more time. You do see what you don't see. You don't see what you do see. When it came to the black rings, my friends, maybe you never did see. And the interesting thing about illusions is people clap their hands and cheer, usually when they see it. Now a story I think you'll find interesting. I saw this a long time ago. It baffled, it bothered, it bewildered me. A gentleman had a red handkerchief in his hand. That's all he had. A red handkerchief, 2 hands. He had a left hand, he had a right hand, he had a red handkerchief. That was it. So people were amazed, as I was, when they saw him push the handkerchief into his hand like this, give his hand a little squeeze, and the handkerchief began to turn white right before his eyes. He saw less red, he saw more white. In fact, soon he realized absolutely, completely, positively, that handkerchief had turned white right before his eyes. And I heard when people saw that, they went crazy. But then there were those who said, you know, we need to figure out how this is done. What's the secret? And I finally learned the secret to the color-changing handkerchief trick. Shall I tell it to you? I thought you'd say that. Turns out that sneaky gentleman was using 2 handkerchiefs. Who would have thought of that? Here's what he did. When no one was looking, when he was hiding backstage, he took 1 handkerchief and pushed it down into his hand like this. He pushed it down in, he made sure that no edges or corners were sticking out. And then once he had that handkerchief down in his hand, he kept the hand closed like this. Had he opened it, everyone would have known he's hiding a handkerchief in that hand. So he kept it closed so nobody could see. And all he had to do was take the white one, push it in, and switch it for the red one that was there from the beginning. Made sense to me. I said, I can do that. So I tried. I was pushing the white one in. I was pulling the red one out. Pushing the white one in, pulling the red one out, and I made this mistake. I realized now the audience sees 2 handkerchiefs. That's a clue that I have 2. Shouldn't give the audience a clue, should I? So I learned if I ever make this mistake in front of a real live audience like yourselves, just get rid of the red handkerchief. Important. You saw me put it back there, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Because if you saw me put the handkerchief back there, if I push the white one in and pull the red one out, since you know it's actually back there behind my table, there's a chance, maybe more than a small chance, that you'll be just as baffled, bothered, and bewildered as I was first time I ever saw this happen. And that, my friends, is the secret of the I want to make a real quick introduction. We've had a very full day, and I've been mainly up here, and Mary's been back there, and Mary and I basically spend 365 days a year together 24/7, and she is not only the love of my life, but I'm absolutely helpless without her. So Mary, would you stick your face out for just a minute here? We met at a travel agency. She was looking for a vacation, and I was the last resort. I need somebody to assist me here, and what I'm looking for is a young lady. Do we have any? Oh, way in the back? Now, I didn't see who all helped when Pastor John was up there. Is anybody back there that hasn't helped yet? You have? You haven't? Well, you know what? Let's go with that one right there, Becky. Come on up here. Come on up here. There's too many great choices here. Come on up here, and you'll be just fine. Come on up here on stage. And I will tell you, once you're up here, you won't believe how loud everybody claps. So now, I know this young lady from our church. You can tell them all who you are.
Betsy.
That's right. This is Betsy. Now, Betsy, do you have any acting experience?
No.
You don't? Well, this is your big chance. Yes. By the way, her family's here. Does she have experience acting up? Turn drama queen, ring a bell? Well, anyway, Betsy, you have a big chance tonight. You get to play two parts. First of all, you get to be a lovely young lady. That'll be automatic, everybody, don't you think? Yeah. Give her your lovely young lady smile. But Betsy, the second part's the really hard part, and that is no matter what I do, you have to act like you're not impressed, like it's no big deal, like you just really don't care. So give the audience your "I just really don't care" look. No, that'll work. No matter what I do, you have to do the "I don't care" look. You got it? Okay, now she's not even going to look at me. That's good. Audience, you have a part. You're an audience. So if you see something surprising, you'll go, "Ooh." Let me hear an "ooh." Ooh. You might go, "Ah." Ah. If it's sad, you go, "Oh my." Oh. But if it's really exciting, you cut loose with wild applause. My job, I shall be a dashing young illusionist. Was that your "I don't care" look? It was, wasn't it? We better get this started before I get in trouble. Maestro, music, please. Here we are in Branson, Missouri. Now and then we get some rain around here, even some thunder showers. The lovely Betsy is out for a stroll, holding about like this, but she has a problem. Her umbrella is broken, the raindrops are falling on her head. The audience says, "Oh my!" Oh my! But have no fear, we won't talk about his age, illusionist is here. And he has with him the silver cone of mystery. Betsy, are you impressed? No. But audience members are. Some say ooh. Ooh. Some say ah. Some say so what? So what? I didn't think a nice audience like you'd actually say that. He folds the cone of mystery, reaches inside, finds a beautiful cover for an umbrella. Betsy, are you impressed? No. But the audience goes bananas. Look at that. I think I know the problem here for Betsy. She says, "Crazy Illusionist has me on stage. He's giving me a broken umbrella, and I don't even have a purse." So Betsy, the cover for the umbrella goes into the purse like this. You hang on to the purse. I'll take the broken umbrella. Now here's what you do with a broken umbrella. Not too clever, but practical. It's called send it back to the manufacturer. Just so happens I have a mailing tube with me. Into the mailing tube it goes. And with Betsy's help, we give it a great send away. Betsy, put a little kiss in your hand and blow it a kiss goodbye, okay? Were you aiming at me? No, I didn't think so. Oh, I understand. Oh, hang on to this. She says, "Crazy Illusionist, you can't just send back the broken umbrella. You've got to send back the cover." Betsy, that's not the cover. And I believe we just discovered something. Along with being a lovely lady and a terrific actress, she can do a trick or two of her own. Take a look at that. That umbrella the audience knows. And finally, even Betsy is impressed. Give them your "I'm really impressed" look. And make sure you get down safe. You're going to be hearing more applause. What a... We always take time in our shows to make it clear that what we do is the art of theatrical illusion. No secret powers, no dark arts, nothing spooky here. God does the miracles, we do the tricks and illusions. Fundamentally, an illusion is something that does challenge your eyes. For example, I have here a big block. It looks like I was playing Monopoly with a giant or something, but it's just a big, kids would call it a dice, a white block with red spots. Are you watching carefully? What color is the block? And what color are the spots? Okay, and he verified that for us. It's a white block with red spots. Now for a moment, we're going to put it out of sight so we can see how well your memory works tonight. It's a white block with red spots. Are you sure of that? Oh, good. He's seen before. He's not so sure. Well, it's good that you're not so sure because this actually is a red block with white spots. Now, take a good look. It's a red block with white spots. Is that what you saw?
No.
No. Very, very good. I've got a sharp young man over there. So what you must have seen a white block with red spots? You saw a red block. Well, I understand the reason for confusion because this crazy thing confuses me too. I don't know if it's a white block with red spots or red block with white spots. I don't know exactly what it is. But I do know it plays a trick on the eyes, and that really is what our illusions are about. That's right, and we enjoy using the illusions to illustrate spiritual truth. And right now, we have a truth we need to illustrate by way of a Christian game show. Let me hear a little game show crowd enthusiasm. We need 3 more volunteers. And we've got a young man back in this. Yeah, come on up. You're looking at the. Yeah, come on up. Who am I looking at? Oh, it's a young lady. I couldn't see in the dark. Wonderful. Yeah, come on up too. I'll take both of you. This will be perfect. Come right on up here. Here we go. I'll pull us back a little bit out of the way. You stand right here. You stand right here. And listen to the audience give you a welcome. We're going to play what we call a Christian game show known as Life is a Puzzle, because for a lot of people, life is a puzzling thing. They don't know why they're in this world. They don't know the meaning of life. They don't know where they're going to go when they die. They're confused. Now, to add to the confusion, we have some fancy cards. And these cards are going to help us think about things folks wonder about. Now, there's 5 cards. Let's say the numbers out loud. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and there should be one more there. 5. Okay, so numbers on the front, pictures on the back. Now, in just a moment, we're going to find out what the pictures are. But first, we need you to pick some numbers. So stay where you are. I got a little bag. We've got numbers. Come a little closer. Tell me your name. Josh. This is Josh, and this is Kendall. Do you two know each other? You're brothers and sisters. I sort of thought so once I got you up here. So we've got numbers in here. 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different numbers. Or lots of numbers, but 1s, 2s, 3s. Would you mind if we let ladies go first? Isn't that something? Your brother's a gentleman. No. Those guys will reach in and pick a number. Whatever number you pick, we use first. So let's see what you got there. What did you get? All right, Kendall, you reach in. You can pick any. If you get a 2, you got to put it back. But anything else you can keep there. Let's see what you get. What did you get? 5. 5. All right, hang on to those for just a moment. We have a display here. We're going to put the cards on display that you selected. So you didn't pick the 1, Kendall. You were first. You picked the 2, right? And yours goes on first, just like that. And what did you have again, Josh? 5. Not the 3, not the 4, but the 5. So it goes in just like this. Now, before we see what you did, let's look at what you didn't do. You didn't pick a 1. You're going to be so disappointed. You might want to get your crying towel out, Josh. If you had picked a 1, you would have had pretty flowers. You don't look so disappointed. Well, you know, there are some folks that think the answer to life is just getting in tune with nature, you know. Kind of go back to the way things were in the past, but a lot of folks have tried that, and it's not the secret to happiness and the way to find the best kind of life. You didn't pick a 3, Kendall. If you picked a 3, you would have had yellow stars. Woo-hoo! Apparently she's not excited about that. I know folks who think the secret to life is found in the stars, but I'm here to tell you tonight that's not the case either. Well, let's look at what, oh, you're going to feel bad about this. Had you picked number 4, you would have had a big horse. Oh, yeah. I know folks who think life is sort of like a horse race. You know, it's just all about who crosses the finish line first with the most toys is the winner. But that, too, is not the secret to life. Thank you, Mary. So come back here a little bit, but don't step behind her yet. I want this to be a surprise. I'll take the numbers from you. The question is, how do we find meaning in life? What is life all about? You were first, you picked the 2. You were second, you picked the 5. What if we found something that makes sense and gives us an answer? What do you think this audience would do?
Go crazy?
I think they would too. You're learning fast, don't you? So I'm going to count backwards, 3, 2, 1. When I get to 1, I'm going to turn this around. Folks, if you think the young people did a good job and found an answer to some of the great questions of life, you will do what Josh just said. 3, 2, 1. Take a look at this. She was first, he was second. They picked the 2 and the 5. Thanks for watching comes to finding a reason to live, when it comes to finding the answers that have to do with the heart and happiness, Jesus really always is the answer. I have some things to say about that, but first let's let these young people know they were awesome. On the way there. Thanks so much for being a part of our show tonight. I have just a few more things to show you. I thank you so much for your attention tonight through our show. It's been a long, busy day, and then doing the big act for you before we did this made things rather complicated getting organized, but so far so good. I want to share with you quickly 3 ways that Jesus Christ is the answer. And the first has to do with the whole idea of being able to be made spiritually clean. And to talk about spiritual cleansing, I have brought with you tonight something to be excited about. Folks, I'm here to tell you about Formula 119. I can see the excitement. You're thinking, oh God, this is going to be an infomercial. Am I ever glad I came to see this show? That's right, the cleansing power of Formula 119. But I do want to make this clear. I'm actually not going to talk to you about what's in a box of soap. But rather I want to talk to you about what's in the greatest book of all books, and that is the Bible, God's Word. Amen. For in the Bible, there's an address. It's a book of 1 John, so the one's for 1 John, and chapter 1, verse 9. So Formula 119. 1 John 1:19 is where the Bible says, if we confess our sin, He's faithful and just to forgive us and cleanse us. It's possible to be made spiritually clean. Now somebody says, well, what do you mean be made spiritually clean? Well, I brought some ink-stained rags to make the point. They are not clean. We have blue ink stains to make us think of dishonesty, the fact that many of us have a problem with not always telling the truth. The Bible's clear, we're supposed to tell the truth. But there's times when we've not told the truth. That's like a stain on our spiritual life. I've got one stained with red ink. Red makes me think of anger. Someone says, I got so mad my face turned red. Do you understand it's not a sin to be angry? That's a natural emotion. But it sure is easy to sin when you are angry. Ever been so mad you said something you shouldn't have said? Ever been so mad you did something you shouldn't have done? I'll move right along. You might be getting uncomfortable at this moment. But the point is, all of us have done things we shouldn't do and said things we shouldn't say. Green has to do with attitude. That people speak of being green with envy, and jealousy's a green-eyed monster. And maybe you've got some bad attitudes, and folks may think you're a pretty nice person, but they can see down inside of your heart. They realize things aren't always so nice. Well, that's why we all need the cleansing power of Formula 119. Now, it contains the 5:17 benefit. Another verse in the Bible, 2 Corinthians 5:17, says it's possible to be made a new creation. So I ask you, are you ready for the tide to turn in your spiritual life? A new dawn to arrive. Can you be so bold as to gain the cheer that comes when all sins are washed? I'm talking about the names of laundry. Would you like to enter a new era? Are you ready to resolve that you will have this amazing experience that will cause you to shout for joy? So it really is possible to have a sensational transformation. You might say to have your life totally turned around. The Bible is very clear, joking aside, that it is possible to have the stains of our failures, the guilt of our past completely washed away. It is possible to be made spiritually a brand new person. As you can see, the ink stains are gone. Now, once in a while, you meet folks who aren't so sure about the reality of this thing, and nowadays it's very popular to mock Christianity. Very popular for people to say those Christians don't know what they're talking about. There's not time to tell you all the things that verify the Christian faith, but one of the great things is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Jesus is the one who talked about how to be forgiven, how to have a new life. He went to a cross and died to make it possible for us to have a new life, but then He rose from the grave to prove that what He had to say was true. It really is possible to be forgiven. It is really possible to have the story of your life change. If you've got burdens and problems, if you feel like you need hope, you need answers, you can find them in Jesus Christ. You can be spiritually transformed. And if there was ever a reason to clap and cheer, no one says